Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the, not knight, the prince, the Prince of Swords. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to hit the little like button or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you, especially if this is your first time watching the channel. Shout it out. Okay. So the first thing that I really, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. We have, it looks like the Fool up here. Okay, but you see the little red right there. The heart of flame. Just absolutely in a place of loving life, right? Letting go of all of the attachments to stress, to, shifting feelings and fighting and bickering and arguments and so on. Letting go of all of that. Enjoying the day, right? Waking up and thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do today? What beautiful things are going to meet me? Like what blessings will the universe bestow upon me and my beautiful life? Yeah, I think that Scorpio, I think that you are passionate enough that you can have mornings like this, that you can have days like this, smiling and getting immersed in the thing that's happening. Not kind of sitting off on the side, staring at the window, lamenting, all of your mistakes and the things that the universe has given and taketh away and so on. I'm pointing at myself. I'm thinking of myself when I think of that. No, this is the opposite. This is the opposite. This is really getting into your season as well, right? We're into full summer now, or full winter in the southern hemisphere. And now maybe you're somebody down there that really enjoys the cooler months. I don't know, maybe it rains a lot. Maybe things are a little more quiet, a little more, I don't know, just ease. There's an ease to things. And I feel there is a sense of release of constraints in general. Now, if you are in the summer, right, and life is busy, there are events happening, there are things going on, you're getting involved, you're seeing people, maybe you don't usually see them most of the year, but everybody has maybe just a couple extra hours in the day. Yeah, I do. I think that there's just really a looseness here, an ease in conversation, connecting, being with your people, and enjoying it, and excitement. And so this is not more of the same, because, with the readings we've had, yeah, there's been some struggle. There's been some, tower moments, as I love to bring up. I know you're probably like, stop talking about all that stuff, Lenor. But there, you have gotten through some difficulties, haven't you? And you have realigned your life. You're building it up. And yeah, you totally deserve some moments where you're not dwelling in all of that. You know, it's not so serious. And I feel like this period of time is kind of really feeding your soul. There is a light, a glow, a change in color to your aura. I feel like you're much more approachable. You're easier to get along with for those who are in your life. And also, I think that you're perceiving other people as just being easier to deal with as well, right? And so, ultimately, this is a big win through and through. Now, we do have that Prince of Swords energy. Not one of my favorites, I have to say. When it comes up, it is definitely important that we remain mindful of how we are letting our thoughts affect us. Now, we also have, it looks like a chameleon. I think that's the one. Yeah, like a lizard, with the chameleon with the head that's kind of shaped like this, and you can see the body and the curly little tail. And I think those are the ones that have the eyes that kind of pivot around, right? And so, Scorpio, and please do not take this as a slight, because I don't think it is one at all. I think that to be adaptable to your environment, to be able to fit in different groups of people, to not kind of have such a strong sense of identity, right, or persona, that you are unable to kind of navigate in different crowds of people or in different aspects of your life, right? Work, family, social, places you like to hang out and whatever. You are not so rigid that you can't fit in wherever. That's the lovely thing about Scorpios, is that you have the ability to kind of assimilate, not fully, right? I don't think that you're everywhere you go, you're like taking on, internalizing everything to the point that you become that. But I do think that you have the ability to kind of, not necessarily fit into any one thing dogmatically, but you can move around. You're kind of a floater. That's what I used to call myself in high school and some of my other friends, because we had tons of groups of people we hung out with. We were never, I was never especially, but my best friend, she was the same way, and she passed away when we were in our 20s, and she's just an amazing person. Her name was Haley, and anyways, I always said we were like floaters, because we never belonged to any group of people. We just had so many different, acquaintances or friends. And so I feel like Scorpios are very much like that. Okay. Now, who are you like very loyal to? Who is like your ride or die? Yeah, not a lot of people, right? You have like one or two people that you are just absolutely, that's your person, that's your family, right? But other than that, yeah, I think that you fit in wherever you go. So I do feel like this is a time where you're out there. You're out there mingling. You're out there having fun, laughing, enjoying, hopefully dancing and listening to good music and, eating some nice food and having, you know, maybe a little bit of a bacchanalian experience, or just a square like myself, just kind of showing up and hanging out in the background. Either way, doesn't matter. Have fun, right? Now, we also have over here an angel. We have a guardian angel, okay, kind of looking out over you. Now, down here, we also have, it looks like the Hierophant with the deer head, okay? And then we have two people embracing, okay, kissing right there. And so I do feel that through the self-work that you're doing, through your spiritual pathways, that there is a deep connection with self or with somebody who is manifest. Now, this might be the beloved, this might be anima animus, and that kind of divine union, in a place where you're feeling quite balanced, you're really kind of open, your heart is open to these divine encounters, right? Developing a relationship with your interior beloved. You know, a way I like to explain this is if you are dreaming of, you know, somebody who visits you and they feel like family, they feel like somebody that you're intensely in love with, and they continue to visit your dreams over many years, maybe your whole life. And, but they feel very familiar, right? This often can be our interior beloved. Now, is it always the same person? Does it always look the same? Maybe not, right? It might change. They might develop into different imagery, but there's still that same feeling, that same connectedness. Now, this could also happen in the real world, right? Where they manifest, or aspects of them are manifest in a partner, okay? Whichever it is for you or it is becoming, I do feel that there is a lot of love here, right? There's a deep devotion, and, you know, even where it can be difficult, right? You can at times, I think, you're devoted, you're loyal, you're there, but at times can push away, right? And I think it's a way that you protect yourself. It's a way that I think that you also maybe feel like if you get too close, that somehow affects your autonomy or your identity, okay? Which are all valid concerns, you know. I think it's normal for us to have the ebb and flow with somebody that we love, if that is somebody who is interior or if that is somebody who is manifest, right? It's kind of like the tides. Sometimes you get closer and the water, you know, is getting deep, and you know, you're kind of swimming in one another. And other times the tide pulls out and things get, you know, it's like well, if you've been on the beach, right? It's hard, and it's, it almost kind of feels like an open, barren land. A desert is exposed. And I think that, you know, sometimes we push ourselves into that place so that we can find some room, you know, so we can focus on the things that we want to, or protect ourselves from perceived, you know, danger, right? And I think, you know, like I've said before, I'm a Virgo, solar Virgo. I feel very akin to Scorpio people the more I get to know them. And I've done that a lot more through my readings. And, well, also having a channel, I've gotten to know a lot of different people through reading for them and becoming friends and things. And I feel, you know, almost like, am I a Scorpio person? But I do feel like Virgo and Scorpio people have a lot of overlap. We just have a different style of kind of expressing our big feelings, you know. But I think we have very similar inclinations to this kind of mercurial, disposition. And that is one that maybe is kind of moody, right? Shifting. And so, I look at this and I feel there is a relationship with the divine, with somebody in your life, maybe, like I said, through the avenue of your faith. And with the Hierophant, right? This is the high priest. Now, the high priestess is more about the natural, intuitive relationship with the elements, right? Kind of, if you could think of like a natural born mystic, or a mystic that is developed through being able to listen to self, to have maybe psychic or clairvoyant, but also divination. You think of maybe like, famously, like the oracles of Delphi, these people that were, whatever technique they were actually using, I don't know. They say that they were like breathing in vapors and having kind of, maybe brain damage, I don't know. But they were having hallucinations, right? They were getting information through these altered states of consciousness through the vapors that were coming through the ground. And so, this might be aligned more. And I'm trying to think now, is that a natural, technically kind of is a natural ability for divining, right? Or there's a great American example, Edgar Cayce, who would have vivid channeling visions, right? He was having visions while he would take a nap, kind of. He'd get into a hypnagogic state. He would read for people by laying on a couch and going into a trance. And so this is more along the lines of the high priestess. Now, the high priest or the Hierophant is somebody who is much more married to the tenets, the texts, the rules and regulations of a spiritual system. So you would see this more as somebody who is very religious, or somebody who maybe they're a magician, or a sorcerer, or an alchemist. They follow the prescribed work, right? They're reading from books, they're going through the ceremonies. They maybe are creating their own ceremonies, but they're using agreed upon methods, okay? So this is more of like a rigid, dogmatic energy, okay? So I do, and it makes sense to me as a Scorpio person, being involved in magic. I could see where the order and routine and really having like a plan would be helpful. Kind of, I think sometimes Scorpio, you can get into something and start, kind of free will in it, but you find yourself kind of off in, the never ever land or whatever, just totally off course, not focused on what you're doing. So when there is a system, when there is a list of things of the steps of a ritual, or you like maybe you go to church or temple or mosque or whatever, and in these spaces there are prescribed rituals, how you do things, the movements you go through, how the service or the readings or the worship is going to go. You already can you can already, not assume, you already know what's going to happen, right? So you're going in there, you're doing it. And in that construct, in this constructed methods, right? You find your ability to tap into the deeply spiritual streams of consciousness, because you're not just kind of, out there like wandering in the wilderness, right? There is a structure here, and that feels safe, and that gives you a space where you can become, where you can unfurl, where you can open, right? And so I do. I feel like this is a place where, yeah, that divine love comes through. And now we have the guardian angel up top, and I feel like all of this is so blessed, right? And it maybe seems like some of these things are in conflict. We have the Fool, we have the Lovers, we have the Hierophant, who is much more rigid than the Fool. Two opposites, you would even think. But somehow, as all of these come together, it works for you, because you are so many things at the same time. And to only be one thing, to only focus on one archetype or one way of being, or to really stick to being perceived or existing in one way, would be almost a soul unaliving for you. I feel like it would be like atrophy, right? A beginning of dissipation, because you need to shift around. You need to wear many hats. That's just the nature of a Scorpio, and that's a beautiful thing. I wonder if Da Vinci was a Scorpio. I feel like a Scorpio person is kind of like a Renaissance person, right? Like good at so many things. Master of some things, yeah, but good at a lot of things. Have a lot of insight. Easily shifting through all of the different modes. So I love seeing that angel up there. That's a beautiful energy. Now let's see. We have over here a person standing beneath birds who are overhead. So we do have messages coming through. We also have an eye right in the middle. You can see the eye there. And so we also have the letter T. So I feel like this is, it really feels immediately that somebody who has transitioned in your life coming through. There's an axe. I almost feel like this is a very specific thing where and we have the datura flower up here. So there's some kind of like a delirium kind of feeling. I feel like this is like somebody who watches out for you. Okay. This is like a ancestor. This is a family member, grandma, grandpa, great grandma, grandpa, maybe parent, somebody who watches out for you. I think that they maybe have a T name. But it's like they're telling me, tell them to watch out for this person in their life. And I see the axe. And it feels like it does. It feels like the ex or something. Maybe an old friend. Okay. But I think that at times you're drawn back in. But it's absolutely the worst. It's the worst decision when you start to go back into their life. Now, it might not be that you're going back to like be together or be good friends, but even just getting sucked into like knowing what they're doing, where they're at. It sets something off in in your being, in your mind. And I think it's like a delirium. It causes such anxiety, and it feels like you get begin to spiral, right? You're distracted from the work at hand, and you get distracted by this person, this old thing, this old feeling, and it just sucks you right in. And it's not in a good way, right? And I just feel, let me just say, I feel like there was a lot of arguing with this person. It feels like yelling, way in the back of my head. I can feel just rooms, filled with voices yelling at each other. And this person that is coming through to tell you, don't go back. Don't even begin to think about it. This might be somebody you never get over. This might be perceived as the love of your life, or the best friend you'll ever have. But it was so volatile, and it seemed very unhealthy. So remind yourself, not for me. Don't do it. Muster up all the will in the world to not go looking for them, okay? Or looking at their stuff, or, checking up on what's going on with them. Don't do it. If you see them at the store, run. Go down the other aisle. Hide. Okay, let's do our divine doors, okay? I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Ooh, this is a very pretty blue door. I like that. And it says, deeper. You are not finished. You are not yet done. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is to come. Hold on. Hold on. Yes. All right. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. It is. Truly, it is. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And, oh yes, if this is your first time watching, yeah, please let me know. Let me know what's going on. How are you doing? How did you vibe with the reading? Oh no, I'm just knocking these all over. I knew these weren't going to stay. You got to bring them out. These are my favorite. These are from when my husband and I got married. There's one for each of us in the family here. My husband, my daughter, and myself. You got to find a place to put them out. I've been continuing to unpack. We moved a few months ago, but my goodness, it's been one thing after another. Sickness and flooding and just being busy. That's the biggest thing. And so anyways, I'm down to the last few places I have to unpack. A few more boxes. I would say there's about 5 more boxes, 6 more boxes, maybe 15 more boxes. I don't know. Not counting our books, which have not been unpacked either, which that's 50 boxes. Oh my goodness. My husband and I, we both are, we're collectors of books. We both love going looking for books. And we both, he reads more than I do. I'll admit that, definitely. But yeah, together we put our libraries together, and now we have to figure out what we're going to do with all these books. How are we going to display them and have them out? We want a full library kind of deal. He wants one where you have a ladder. That's one of his goals, I think. Shout out to my husband, by the way, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. So we'll see. I feel if you've seen my husband over there, Paul, this beautiful man that he is, you could see him having a library with one of those ladder things, right? We just need like the really kind of cheap IKEA modern version. All right. So anyway, Scorpio, I'm going to stop before I go on and on and on. All right. I don't know why I'm so giggly. I think it's just, I'm happy. There's no rain today. It's just, it's been a nice day. So, yeah, I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Take care of yourself. Good night.